You look again for the thing that involves something changing. Okay? So, properties of iron. It's grayish brown. It reacts with oxygen to form rust. It conducts electricity. It's magnetic. Which of those is a chemical property?
Rust.
It rusts. It rusts and reacts with oxygen to form something new.
Wait, so the magnetic thing is a physical property?
Magnetic is physical. We're not changing what the atoms are, we're changing the direction that they're facing. Okay? Well, that was 19. Number 20, identify a chemical change versus a physical change. Notice 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, all the same hint. So I'm going to be giving you common examples of processes. Is bending chemical or physical? Physical. Is grinding chemical or physical?
Physical.
Is fermenting chemical or physical? Chemical. Is decomposing chemical or physical?
Chemical.
Chemical. Is grating chemical or physical?
Cheese.
Grating like cheese, yeah, like Parmesan. Physical. Okay? And what's the difference between the physical ones and the chemical ones?
They're not changing. They're not changing what they are. If you grind cheese, it's still cheese.
Right. If you grind cheese, it's still cheese. We're not changing what they are. In chemical, I think you were saying there's a chemical reaction. Okay? So that actually covers the next, like, 5 or 6 hints. Okay? Identify a chemical property of water, number 25. The test hint says, which of the following is a chemical property of water at 4 degrees Celsius?
Frozen.
At 4 degrees Celsius? It's not frozen. And that's a physical property. Which of the following is a chemical property of water at 4 degrees Celsius?
Slow.
Viscous, maybe? That's physical. What would be a chemical property of water?
It's 4 degrees and hot or cold.
Hot or cold would be physical.
No, like,
Oh, 4 degrees is pretty cold. Room temperature is 22,
But it's not frozen.
but it's not frozen.
Sticks to things.
Sticks to things, it's surface tension is physical. Is what? Yeah, what's a chemical one? It's getting ready to freeze. Is that physical or chemical? Physical. So, chemical, we'd have to look for some sort of clue in the answer that talks about it changing into something new. So, if we said we zapped that water with electricity and made hydrogen and oxygen, that would be chemical. Okay? Most of the changes that you're familiar with are physical. Okay? Chemical goes back to turning it into something different. Alrighty, 26. Describe the type of change that occurs during common natural phenomena. Like, well, it's fall. The leaves are changing color. Is that physical, chemical, both, or neither? Okay, it's actually chemical because it's a change in photosynthesis that's happening. Yes, Serena.
what's the answer 25?
To 25. Well, the chemical property of water would have to be some property that talks about it changing into something new. So if we zapped it with electricity and broke it apart, something like that.
So the question
Not just
of
freezing
chemical
or
property is it can be separated into
into
hydrogen
hydrogen.
and
Yes,
oxygen?
that would be a good example. Okay. All right, 27. Identify the basic indicators of chemical change. There's a nice list in your notes. Heat
Fizzing.
or light given off, gas being produced, explosions, production of electricity or electric current, a precipitate being formed. feel like I forgot one.
When water turns into a vapor, it's just.
Water turning into a vapor is physical, right? Okay. 28. Identify a specific process that indicates a change in identity of a substance. Okay? And that will be going back to looking for terms like these: fizzing, rusting, decomposing, releasing, exploding. If we run an electric current through copper wire, is that physical or chemical? Have we changed what the wire is by sending no. So that's physical. What if we burned the copper wire in air and it corroded? That's chemical. Okay? What if we wrapped the copper wire into a loop to make a Christmas ornament or something? That's physical. Or jewelry or something like that. What if we dissolved the copper wire in nitric acid and it produced a stinky brown gas and a dark green solution? Chemical. Because we're making something new. We're making copper nitrate. It's dramatic and exciting and poisonous and smelly. Alrighty. 29. What happens to matter during a chemical reaction? What happens to matter during any sort of change?
It's kept. You can't really destroy it,
It changes form,
but not,
but not the amount. So this is a question about the law of conservation of matter and energy. We're not creating or destroying any matter. Okay? And the hint there is about apply the law of conservation of matter. 30 is another one that is similar. So, in chemical reactions, which means what? If I say it's a chemical reaction, what's happening?
Like you're making something.
Making something new. What can we say about the mass of the substances before and after the reaction?
to be different.
Same, absolutely the same. You might not remember the box on the big farm scale in the video?
Yeah.
Shows you the video clip. They had penguins marching, they had firecrackers going off, popcorn popping, radios and fans turning off and on, wind blowing, sparklers, all of those changes going on. Lots of dramatic and exciting things. But that, when that was hanging on that balance, balanced by the bricks, the mass did not change. Okay? Because it was all contained in that sealed box. If the box was open, and they showed you on the video burning a bunch of matches on a double pan balance, and when the matches burned, you all saw that heat and light and smoke and everything given off, you're left with ashes. Then the mass changed because it wasn't trapped, all the smoke left. If we had trapped it, the mass would stay the same. Did you have a question?
Yeah, you stand.
Okay. If we grind